Hello.
Hey folks.
Hi Alexandra, Michael, Steve.
How are you?
Doing all right. Enjoying the British summer weather.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's pouring down with rain.
It's awful. We've
Horrible.
only had a couple of good weeks of it, but since then it's been it's back to square one again.
Yep. Oh, Stephen's run away. Must have scared him off.
Yeah, he's there, isn't he? He's just let everybody into the meeting, hasn't he?
Hey Raina.
Raina.
Ronnie.
Hey everybody.
Brian.
Good evening.
Hi, Anne.
Hello, Alexandra. Very good. It's not an easy name to pronounce in English, I think.
Yeah. We were just having a big discussion about it, well, at home anyway, because there's an RSPB reserve which is on Spring Watch at the moment, and it's pronounced Arn. And I would have always pronounced your name as Arn because I've known the RSPB reserve for a long, long time. And it was like, really must ask, how do you pronounce it?
I heard Arn and Arnie and Arne. But the last one is, I guess, difficult for the English spoken people. That's fine.
Hello everybody.
Hi.
Hey Franco.
Hello,
Hey
Franco.
Franco.
How are you, Raina? You feeling better? Good.
So long as it's not that. So long as it's not that.
Yes.
We're good.
I'm still alive.
Good.
That's a start.
My throat is a little bit damaged due to the medicine. I'm taking some inhalations of the powder, and it's messing up my throat.
Oh dear.
So it's difficult to talk for talking to me.
Oh well, just listen
Yes.
and then wave madly when you want something.
How are you, Alexandra? Are you better?
Yeah, much better. It took till I think it was Thursday this week, and then finally, suddenly, the headache went away. So I'd had that terrible migraine for about 10 days. So finally, just left on Thursday, and I felt much better.
Did you figure out what it was or no?
Well, I had a few tests. German measles, you can tell with the antibody tests. Because you produce like an IgG and an IgM, and they could tell that it wasn't German measles. But measles, they can't tell whether it's from your vaccination or whether it's from an actual thing, unless you actually have like a PCR test during it. So I think it's because there's a bit of a measles epidemic in the UK. I think it's probably was measles.
Oh, good. So we got some beautiful sun here. Look.
Oh wow. Oh, glorious.
Yeah,
Oh.
continuing to change the weather, but right now it's beautiful.
Oh, well, it's pouring down with rain here.
Yeah.
So no,
Overcast and drizzle.
sorry, Brian.
I just said it's overcast here with light drizzle.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Franco.
Oh, well, it's good for the plants.
Brian, I'm recording the Formula One Canadian Grand Prix right now.
Oh, is it on? I don't follow it very closely, so.
All right, okay. So and it is raining there as well. So it's in Montreal. So
I think
as the call is over, I'll watch the delayed coverage of it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a low pressure system over us the last couple of days, and it hasn't rained enough to do any good.
Mm.
as far as activating some herbicide, but it's rained enough to ruin doing anything productive. So.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I was thinking for a meeting in the future, would be curious to see if Arnie wanted to do a piece on his new scope assembly.
Thinking about the refractor.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes, I could possibly do that.
just a
It's,
thought. It doesn't
yeah.
need to take up the whole session, but it'd be interesting to see firsthand and go from there.
Yeah.
I was thinking of asking you how to, doing your time-lapse animations.
Okay. Yeah.
So you could fit that in as well.
Sounds like two sessions, but yeah, I could try to do that.
Yep.
I have some ideas on what at least works for my setups. So yeah.
All right, sorry about that. I think I have my audio problems fixed now.
Hello.
Hi, Stephen.
Hello. Hello, everyone. So big week on the sun, huh?
Yeah.
As always. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people. That's great. Alexandra, did you have a wonderful presentation lined up for us this week?
No, sorry.
Okay. Well, as far as Solarchat goes, we're doing good. We removed a bunch of fake members, which was over half of the membership once it came down to it. I did some searches and used some external tools to find out what members were real and what members weren't. And it ended up being a lot less than it was, which is good. See if I can give you a number.
So how many do you have now?
That's what I'm about to find out. Wow. 1,872 members now. 420,000 posts, 43,774 topics. And that's over a 12-year period. So that's pretty damn good if you ask me. And I don't care if it's 10 members. Really, the less members, the better for me. But apparently there was a bunch of, most of them had .ru addresses, and it was probably being used for some nefarious Russian propaganda or something. They'll take over your site and they'll use it. They'll create an email address with your forum and then use that email address to send malicious stuff all over the place. But anyway, I got some new software and it went through and checked everybody's IPs and all that. So that's good. The forum's running pretty fast as far as I can tell. Anybody have any complaints about the forum? If you do, I don't care. No, I'm kidding. But so for us, for the Charlie Bates Solar Astronomy Project, we're getting ready to have a really, really awesome next week. You probably saw this already if you're on Facebook, but I'm flying to Kosovo on Monday. And I took the Lunt LS-152 double stack scope and a Skywatcher EQ8 mount were placed on a pallet with a bunch of Celestron gear, and that's all supposedly going to arrive by the end of this week. The observatory is been built. It looks absolutely beautiful. The road's being paved as we speak. Electricity's installed, and we did a little fundraising thing this past week where we had an Amazon gift request list for a bunch of things a bunch of educational things like inflatable planets, spectroscopic experiment sets, about 20 or 30 different items on Amazon that people ordered and sent to Pranvera's address in San Jose before she left. And she flew out yesterday and she had 8 suitcases full of stuff. And it was $160 per suitcase to take them on Turkish Airlines, and there's supposed to be a limit of 4. But we spoke to a representative there, and they were happy to allow 8 suitcases. So I've got 4 suitcases. I'm flying in business because my size. And they allow unlimited suitcases. So I've got 4 suitcases there. And one of the best things is Daystar. You know, Rainbow Symphony kind of disappeared. So our solar glasses I've been out of solar glasses since last October. And Daystar, I called and I wanted to make something special for the opening. So I made these solar glasses that have a picture of the observatory and Cranberry's Astronomy Club name. And that's it. No other sponsors, no bullshit, just something to commemorate the opening of the observatory. So we got 5,000 of those printed up, and I'll have 2 suitcases full of that when I get there. And I'm going to fly out Monday night, and the observatory opening will be Tuesday, I believe. And the president of Kosovo will be there, who I've met several times before. She's a woman, and she helped negotiate the whole thing. The mayor of the local town, you know, all the politicians want to get in on it, even though none of them helped do anything, but they all want to take credit for it now. And it was our donors and our support from people in our group that made all this happen. So you guys can be proud of this. And, you know, it may not be anything to some people, but Kosovo has been in existence for about 20 years. And this is the first ever observatory or planetarium or science center in the country's history. And it's because of us. We made it happen. In fact, I personally negotiated most of it with the politicians over there. So I'm real proud of that. And that's coming up next week. So you'll be getting images and updates from Kosovo. And if you've never been to the Balkans, it's really a beautiful place. They love Western people, especially American veterans. And the last time I was there, you know, I'm retired from the Navy, and I was in the military when they were having their formation issues with Serbia. But they won't take your money when they find out you're American veteran. You can't buy anything. Everything's free. They have more American flags in the capital of Kosovo than I've ever seen anywhere, including the United States. They have streets named after military heroes from the Balkan Wars. It's really an astounding place to visit. It's really astonishing how much they love NATO and the United States of America. It's way more patriotic than any place in the United States. So, and everybody there is really motivated. They all show up to every event. They all work really hard, and they have huge crowds of people at their science events, which, you know, was completely new for me. And it's not just a couple of grumpy old men, you know, it's a whole cast of 20 or 30 people, graduate students with telescopes, and there might be 2,000 people there to look through the telescopes. It's very motivating. So that's all going to happen next week. Does anybody have any topic they wanted to discuss this week?
I was just here to hear about the Kosovo trip. I saw Pranvera's posts on Facebook, and it was kind of comical to see the stack of suitcases. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the pictures you get to take. If you're able to do any sort of live stream. I wish you were going with us. Yeah, I wish I was too. But I'm picking up Madeline from camp that weekend, opening weekend. So any pictures you post, I can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
Live streaming the opening event or anything?
We hope to, yeah. But you know, Alexander, it's Kosovo, and they don't have any internet. So they have some internet. It all depends on you know what. One of the members of their astronomy group actually donated the land to the government to put the observatory on. And it's 10 miles outside of the capital city, but it might as well be 1,000 miles because there's nothing outside of the capital city. It took a miracle to get electricity out there. And the total cost for the observatory was 300,000 euro, which is pretty cheap. I mean, you couldn't build anything like that in the United States for you know, what is about $400,000 US. You know, that's about half what my house cost to build, but somehow they did it over there.
It was nice to meet her at Nice, because it was nice.
She's a force to be reckoned with, you know, and she's taken for granted a lot, and people look at her and they see a little girl, you know, and a lot of these men in the US, all they see is just a pretty girl from Eastern Europe that, you know, they don't give her any credit for some reason. That's always kind of bugged me. But she can do anything. And I've learned to just stand back and let her do what she's going to do, because one thing about her is she has never let anyone tell her something can't be done. And she's done some things. I mean, hell, she's getting a doctorate at University of California, you know, basically on her own. And you know, 15 years ago, she was hiding from Russian troops in the mountains of Kosovo with her family. And I think that's pretty incredible, but she's a force to be reckoned with. So the one funniest thing I saw was a 10-foot high banner that's 30 feet long, okay, from a planetarium, and they rolled it up into a tube that's 10 feet tall, 4 feet bigger than the limit on Turkish Airlines. And I said, Primavera, they're never going to let you take that on there. Oh, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. So I just back off and leave her alone. And I'll be damned, she's flying with a 10-foot mural on Turkey. It's in the baggage compartment somehow. I don't know who she talked to or how she got it done, but it's pretty amazing to watch her work. And Ralph, did you ever meet her when she was in Australia?
No, I missed out on that, Stephen. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
when she was in Brisbane, no, I didn't. I would have liked to.
She went there and stayed with Rob Black. Was that his name? The guy that stole all my
Yes.
gear and never heard from her again. Yeah.
That's the guy.
You know, that's pretty crazy. I mean, she's 19 years old and she's flying to Australia to stay with you know, basically a hobbit that she's you never met before. And you know, she takes care of herself, man. So I'm proud of that. And I'm proud of our group for doing that, because while it might be something that's meaningless to a lot of people, to me, it's a gigantic accomplishment that we did. And I think it's great. Now, if I could just get her to learn something about astronomy, you know, she's great with social media, but you know, that she's all excited about this C14 that Celestron donated. And I worked that out with Corey, you know, over at Celestron, and I worked out a bunch of gear, and that's what she wanted. And I said, why do you want a C14? Because you know, we've all used these big reflectors. They're really difficult to use, and they're not user friendly at all. I mean, you really got to work hard to get these things to work right. And she just wanted it because it was the biggest telescope. They wanted to have a big. And I told her, I said, you know, you're going to get 100 times more use out of that H-alpha scope than you're ever going to get out of that C14. But you know, she doesn't have a lot of experience. She has no experience imaging through a telescope. She has a little bit of experience using it visually, but mainly she's an administrator and she gets things done. So we're going to see how that works out. And of course, anybody's welcome, but you know, not everybody wants to fly to Pristina, Kosovo.
So how do you get there? You said you got a layover in Turkey?
When I was complimenting you on that animation you had on the Facebook group. Can you hear me now?
Yep, hear you just fine.
Okay. Yeah, I saw something you posted. That just blew me away. I wish I could remember exactly what it was. But do you know what I'm talking about? I think you posted it on the Struve Solar Society.
Me?
Maybe.
I don't think that was me.
Alexandra, what do you got for us?
I haven't got anything, sorry. I've been ill all week, so.
Oh no. You better now?
Yes, much better since Thursday.
Oh,
Just
good.
finally pulled through.
I had that about 3 weeks ago, and it was a respiratory thing.
There you go.
Everybody seems to be ill at the moment. Maybe it's one of those summer things.
I've been too busy to be sick.
Been drinking vitamin C in massive doses before I get in this aircraft. This is the first flight, other than NEAF. This will be the only flight I've taken since the pandemic, and I'm a little concerned about getting COVID.
You have a sepia filter turned on there, Stephen?
I don't know why it looks like that.
I didn't know if that was the
Find out.
remodeled living room or what. The living room looks nice,
Thank you.
but it's bleeding over on top of you.
It's not that color. I'll have to look at that. Video filter. Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
That's better.
You just left the 1950s.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go, full black and white.
Yeah, very good.
Question for you, Alexandra, actually. I see there's a solar observing event or something at Keeling Heath in a few weeks' time. Just wondering if you or if there's anyone else maybe in the group that's planning to go into it.
I hadn't thought of going there. Where's Keeling Heath?
Norfolk.
Oh gosh, that's a long way away, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
even
difficult
longer
one
for
to
me.
get
Yeah,
to.
no, I'm kind of looking at what kind of solar observing events are on in Europe. But there's not a huge amount that are jumping out to me.
Yeah, we still haven't had our get together, have we?
No, but it would be good to do something.
Yes.
A little
'Cause we used to
European
sort of
meetup.
like get together at the International Astronomy Show, which is October, is it, Stuart? Can you remember? Because that's the last time I met you guys. I think that was 2019, wasn't it, that we had that?
What's
There was
that?
only like about 3 of us turned up.
Was that the one in Coventry?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was around there. Are they doing the blue dart at all?
No, not this year. I think last year it was yeah, because that would have been another good one to go to, wouldn't it? This year they're having a break because last year it was so wet and so windy that I think after about the second day they had to cancel virtually all of it because they couldn't get cars in or cars out, and I think it was just an absolute quagmire. So they were just going to leave the land for a year and come back to it next year, I think.
Right.
And this year isn't looking much better, so they're probably thinking, "Oh, I'm glad we didn't go for this year."
Yeah, yeah. That's ridiculous. It's raining again now. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, it would be good to meet up at one of these events, I think.
Good.
So we could try that, Michael.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. It's on in Saturday, the 14th of September.
Oh, is it September?
Yeah, near Coventry.
Okay.
So I have to see what flights go into that area.
Yeah, I think you'd probably go to Birmingham, would you?
Probably Birmingham and get a train across. Yeah, something like that. Probably make a day trip of it or something. But it would be nice to go to like a proper solar observatory as well. Like you have what's the one in Austria?
A Kanzelhauer.
Kanzelhauer. That would be a pretty impressive place to go.
Yeah, I think Mark's been there. I'm not sure whether it's completely open to the public. I think Mark sort of like negotiated, wrote to them and asked them. I'm not sure that you can.
Yeah, no, it is. You can go all right. So it's open. I'm just looking here. Open every day, 9 to 3, free of charge.
All right, okay.
And if you have groups more than 5, you can get you get an advanced booking. It looks quite small, but it will be an interesting place to go. But it's just a little remote in Austria.
Yeah.
A couple of hours drive from the airport.
Everything's a couple of hours drive in Australia.
Yeah.
That's a long way to go.
For a day trip, especially.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, what? Sorry.
They're having a big festival in our neighborhood this weekend, so she's out enjoying it. Martin, can you tell me a little bit about that guitar?
Which one?
The wood tone that looks like a Telecaster
That's
neck on
a homemade special. Made it myself.
It looks like a Telecaster and a Gibson
I bought
ES 335.
Yes, Epiphone Dot.
Hang
on, I'll just bring them across and show you.
Please do.
It's that's the Dot.
Right.
With a Bixby and a Turner tension bar. Then there's the Les Paul LPJ with a Duesenberg tremolo on it.
Right.
That's quite a collection.
Yeah. And this one is a Burns. I bought this one in London in 2012.
What about the one on the
Hank
end,
Marvin fan.
on the other end over there? That's what I was talking about.
Oh. Oh, there's a Fender, deluxe Strat.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Jimi Hendrix.
No. And then my homemade special.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I really like that.
Cost me about $150 all up to build it.
Yeah, that's really, it looks like a Telecaster, like a big
Yeah.
Telecaster.
Hollow body.
Yeah.
And I just picked up all the parts on eBay and modified them to make the guitar.
Did you know that when I started this nonprofit that I sold a 1957 Les Paul Peter Frampton special to pay for our first 2 telescopes?
Wow.
Wow.
Is that the free pickup job?
Yeah, the Black Beauty, they called it.
Yeah.
I had it all my life, and that's what I sold to buy the first 2 very large telescopes back in 2008.
That's not a bad trade.
No, it was fine because I didn't need to pick up chicks anymore with guitars because I was married. Right now.
She heard that.
Yeah, she's over.
Are you saying they're not a good investment?
The guitar was not that good of an investment, to be honest with you. But
while I'm doing show and tell, Stephen, I'll give you a good look at my home built telescope if you like.
Yeah.
Please do. Let me highlight you. If I could figure out how to do that. Yes. Holy cow.
You'll never play that, Martin.
Looks like a trombone.
It's in the chord of HA, is it?
I've got my headphones back on now, so.
With the high node solar guider on it.
Beg your pardon?
It's with the high node solar guider, I noticed.
Yes, a high node solar guider. And first part of it is a 7nm HA filter. Then back there is a Player One HA rejection filter to stop all the sunlight. Further back, there's a PST Etalon. This room is too small. Then we have the quark chromosphere, combo quark. And then we have a focal reducer for the 174 camera.
Right.
And that takes all the Newton rings out and just drops back the focal length to make the pixel scale just spot on.
So you're a machinist, obviously.
No, I'm a Boilermaker. Retired Boilermaker.
Oh, wow.
No, all the image train has to be true. Trying to get it in the picture in relation to the objective. Otherwise, if you raise a bent, you're going to get an uneven illumination on your disc.
Right.
So I built a rail focuser out of 3D printer parts.
Wow.
Which I bought on AliExpress for about $50. And everything runs true. I collimate it with a laser beam because you can put a laser beam through a telecentric Barlow and still get a dot on it at the objective end. And
now, did you design all that first, or did you just build it as you go?
I designed it and then I built it. I've taken pictures of all the construction of it over the years. It started off as an open frame refractor that I found I was getting too many tube currents because our Australian heat gets 40 degrees during the daytime. Yeah. So I found having an open tube, there were no tube currents to worry about. The air flows through. Even the optical tube has slight ventilation in it. There's small ventilation holes just to stop any tube currents from originating. I have tilt adapters all the way through to keep the image train true in case of any sag. And I normally collimate the telescope for once a month in position at about 6 degrees angle to eliminate any tilt that's in the system.
It's a beautiful
Anything
piece of
else you
work.
guys would like to see?
Are you an engineer, Mark?
No, I'm not. I studied mechanical engineering years ago, but I couldn't get a job at it. So I didn't worry about it at the time.
What's the aperture of the objective on that?
120 millimeters.
120. Okay.
Yeah. I had 100, but there wasn't that much difference in the performance. But having the 120, I can reduce my exposure times by about 3 microseconds.
Right. Looks good.
Absolutely
you.
beautiful. Can you build me one?
Yeah, just find me a decent quark.
That's hard to find.
Okay, I'll put it back now.
Thank you. Yeah, Daystar, they finally came through for me on these glasses, though. That was kind of them. I've had 5 or 6 quarks, and I've never had one that I thought worked at all. But let's see how to unpin you. I don't know how to do that. Do you know how to do that? Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah, that was beautiful, Martin.
Thank you.
What part of Australia are you in?
Brisbane.
Ah, very good.
Probably about 90 kilometers from where Peter Marples lives. He's down the Gold Coast and I'm in Brisbane.
Mm-hmm.
And what time is it?
It's 4:31 in the morning.
Good Lord.
Guess you can't do a live demo for us one day then.
No.
It's a good looking telescope.
Well, actually, we can. If you guys get up at 4:30 in the morning, we can.
That's the trade-off for you guys getting up early. Got it.
Well, we can see what's coming in the future.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, because it's tomorrow there.
Yeah. Well, I need to drop a little early today. Stephen, have a great trip, and we're looking forward to getting the
Thank you,
pictures
Sean.
that you post.
Thank you for all your support.
See y'all next time.
See you.
Yeah. Probably going to cut it anyway. It looks like there's no topics or anything. Would anyone like to volunteer to do a some sort of presentation to the group next month?
I think it's on, isn't it?
There was a question about doing something about time lapses, so I could try and prepare that if there's interest.
Would that be okay, Arnie? Would you mind doing that? Because I think it's really fun when someone tells us about what they know. I like it. I enjoy it.
I could do that.
Not that seeing your faces is not enough, but you know, having some sort of topic is a good idea. So why don't we do that then for next month?
Yeah, that'd be good.
And thank you, Australians, for waking up so early. And
You're welcome.
I guess that's it then.
Sorry for putting you on the spot, Arnie.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Is it okay to do it like show the software and actually do some of the processing and just instead of just having presentation?
I think that would be great. You could do anything you want, you know, to maybe 20, 30 minutes, that kind of thing.
Quick question for Alexandra before we go. I noticed you were talking about a boat. Did you join Mark in the a longboat type deal?
Well, hopefully, yes. It's been being built for a very long time. I think they started, well, I think it was the 1st of November last year. They started with the raw steel. And then I think by Christmas they'd finished all like the steel shell. And then since Christmas they've been fitting it out inside, and then we seem to have got stuck in the paint shop. It's just they don't ever seem to be painting it. And it's like the weeks are just going by, and it's, have you painted it yet? No. So it was supposed to be ready on the 31st of March. And I think it's what we are now, like the 9th of June. I'm still waiting. So it's a bit painful, really.
Have they got the motor in it now, Alexander?
Pardon?
Have they got the motor in it, the engine?
No, because it's got to be painted first.
Right, okay.
So before they can put the engine in. So
so you've all the fit out to go as well. So it's
well, the fit out is done. The fit out is done. It's just the outside paint work.
Oh, just the outside. And is it a sailing yacht or is it a canal kind of barge?
It's a narrow boat, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a 50-foot narrow boat. So it's only like is it 7 foot wide? but 50 foot long.
Wow.
Oh yeah, but so, okay. But you'll have like plenty room, like sleeping quarters and
Yes.
area and all of that in a vessel of that size, yeah.
Yeah, so it's very yeah, you've got your bedroom, your bathroom, and your galley and a little dinette that we've got. But like what Mark and Fiona always say is you have to get used to being a crab because you've got to constantly walk sideways and pass in the middle. So
Like a submarine.
yes.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if that ever gets finished, we'll have access to the countryside in Cheshire, which means that we'll be able to you know, be by water, and we'll be able to get away from the light pollution, which is great. I've got, you know, like that little sea star now, which I'm really looking forward, you know, to taking on the boat because it's small, and then being able to see, you know, a proper dark sky for the first time. So it just sort of like gives us that opportunity that we would never be able to do, you know, because in the UK, housing is just so expensive. You just can't afford to get out of, you know, like the towns and cities. So it just gives us access to that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Alexandra, is there any way you can put pressure on to get it, excuse me, done earlier for you?
Well, not really, no, because they just say, do you want it done properly or do you not want it done properly? And it's like, well, yeah, we do want it done properly. It's like, okay, we'll wait. But
it sounds very familiar. Very familiar.
Yeah, it seems a very slow business.
Have you done a reconnaissance of where you're going to take it for best places?
Oh yes, we've got our favourite places definitely, because we've been hire boating, so we know where we really like. So
can you cross the Atlantic with it? Can you come over to Florida?
No, yeah, because it's flat bottomed.
Oh
it's you've got to be really careful. I think you can go, you know, like take it across the Wash, and you can also take it across the River Mersey to Liverpool. But you've got to go with a pilot, and you've got to go with, you know, on a very calm day. Otherwise, it can just flip over very easily.
Yeah, we're gonna buy a boat too.
Put an outrigger on it, and it'll stay upright.
But a what?
An outrigger.
Oh.
Yeah. Natalie and I are gonna buy a boat also, very small, but
yeah, I think James has got a little boat now, hasn't he? The grey minnow, which he's going out into the lake.
That's right.
Doing his solar observing from, isn't he?
I think he's got a kayak, actually.
Yeah, little boat.
Yeah, very little.
Very little. Enough for his sunoculars.
There you go. So are you going to put a small observatory on your boat?
No, because I think it would be a bit wobbly.
What you'll have to do, Alexandra, every year is set up a pier, you know, an observatory pier at some mooring points that you pull up to, and then year by year you'll have a chain of observatories all set up, you know, for your retirement plan. You know, you just go. If it's cloudy in one location, yeah, exactly.
This meeting is full of such great ideas.
Yes. Well, they do say that the best solar observing is over water.
There you go.
So.
And have you done any like coastal sailing, or is it all inland waters?
Oh, all inland. Yeah, I've never done it. I think it'd be a bit scary because I've not done rivers either. So I think I'd need to learn rivers. They look a bit scary as well.
You just go pub to pub to pub, don't you, on these things?
Yeah, on the canals. Yeah, it's still water, and you just go, yeah, like you say, pub to pub to pub. And you can drink and drive. It's not illegal. So
great.
All over the place. Yeah.
Well, you can't go too far wrong. I mean, you know, it's only so wide, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, guys, I'm doing what's best for all of us here and cutting this meeting off. Okay. I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.
All right.